Hi folks, I'm the Bald Guy, and these are Bald Guy Basics. Coming to you today with a review of a very handy tool, but not such a great manufactured product. I'm going to be reviewing for you today the Forester Pickaroon. If you cut firewood, you need to have a Pickaroon. You need to have two of them. These are absolutely great tools. They help you to pick up wood without bending over. It makes it easier to move logs, to move brush. It is a great tool. I got two of them, and they both have problems. So let's delve into the story a little bit. The Forester Pickaroon, which I looked on eBay. I'm sorry, not eBay. I looked on Amazon. And well, I did look on eBay, but I purchased through Amazon. There are a number of models, and I wanted a model that had a handle more like an axe. I wanted a wood handle, and I liked the head, even though it's cast rather than forged. The way these things work, you just slap them into a piece of wood and you can pick it up. And especially, I've used this on a few truckloads of wood. I can pick up really large rounds of wood that I've cut that I really don't want to pick up for a number of reasons, because of the weight of it, and it's so ungainly to pick up. So it's worked great. However, this is the first one I bought, and immediately it says it's got USA hickory for the handle. But immediately a piece of wood came out of the wedge and the head started to slide off. So I contacted the seller on Amazon, and they were great. The customer service was great. They said, shoot me some pictures of the head, and I just took some pictures. The handle was recessed about that far, and they said, we'll send you another one right out. They didn't ask for it back, so great. So now I was able to work on this one. Solution I came up with is to simply drill a hole down into the handle after I reseated the handle all the way up into the head of the Pickaroon here. And I drilled a hole, put a wood screw in with a couple of washers, and I wanted a washer that was big enough that it hung over the outside edge. That way the edge cannot go forward. So that worked. But you're always worried, since it's already cracked. A piece of wood came out the top. You're worried. So when they sent me the new one, I was really pleased. And I went ahead and did my fix. Pre-drilled the hole. This is really hard hickory wood. But you can see I've had to grind on this one. The first Pickaroon I had, it goes into wood. If you've read reviews on these things, you'll see one person will say this is great. The next person says it won't go into certain kinds of wood. I have two of these, and they're almost identical. When you put them head to head, you'll find that there's just a touch difference in length. This one is about, I don't know, a quarter, 3/16 longer. I've looked at the thickness. I even got my old trusty cheap caliper out, measured it. It's within a millimeter of thickness, but the newer one will not go into a piece of wood consistently. I'm having to swing it with two hands. I'm not sure what it is, so I'm working on the shape of it, and I've heard a few of those other reviews where they had to do the same thing. So in terms of working firewood, these things are absolutely great. I went to the woods yesterday, cut what I consider to be a truckload of wood. I never leave a lot of wood laying on the ground when I'm not cutting on my own property, because people will steal it, and they just will. So I try to leave it pretty close, and then I go to pick it up. And that's where I usually spend the most time, because in bending over, picking up, putting it on the truck, and then going back again and again, my back gives out, and I have to stop and rest. And I loaded half or more of the truck in just no time flat. I was really pleased, really impressed. But yesterday was the first time I really used this new one a lot, and I'm out in the woods with a flat file out of my chainsaw box, and just trying to get this thing to grab into the wood, and it absolutely would not do it consistently. In fact, when I struck it on the end, the round part of the wood, the face where I've cut, it threatened at times to split the wood, even though it wouldn't stick in it. So I feel like with some extra filing, I'm going to get this right. I'm going to continue using a Pickaroon. Some dealers will call these hookaroons. Is an absolute must. It will save you time. It will save you energy on your back. These are 28 inches. They make the shorter ones, which I forget the measurement, and then they make some that are in excess of 30 inches. This gives me a great split between the two. It's easy to work around the wood pile. They're really light. They're only a pound or two. The Forester also is made in India. And it comes with a plastic blister over the head of this thing. And on the back of the blister is some basic instructions. Use eye protection, use hearing protection, which I'm not sure what hearing protection is going to do on a tool that's not motorized, but and it says to read the owner's manual. The only problem is there is no owner's manual, so it's a little bit humorous, but these things are really beneficial for you. If I were to spend the money again, as much as I like the intent of this design, and this one was $50 off of Amazon, I would probably go with another similar shape design. I like the head of these, but I cannot for the life of me figure out why this one will not bite the wood when the other one will, or not as consistently. I'll make one swing and I'll think, I've got it. I've filed the right amount of material off, and then I'll go and make 3 more swings and it bounces right out. So Forester, I love the idea of a Pickaroon so good. I would love to say, people go buy the Forester. I'm going to say people avoid this one at all costs, unless you're willing to do the kind of alterations that I'm doing. With the alterations made, that is attaching a secondary fastening system to the head, made all the difference in the world, and I've just got to keep taking a little bit of material off this until I get a consistent take into the wood. So other than that, if you've never used a Pickaroon or a Hookaroon before, even a cant hook does not compare to how handy this thing is. Where I'm cutting, the sawmill had come in and timbered out all the good wood, but they left the tops of the tree. So I have a lot of treetops that are down this way, and I'm cutting them up as I go, cutting the branches and then getting to whatever's left of the bole of the tree. But you know, there gets to a point where wood is big around as your finger, so you're not going to cut that stuff up. And it can be quite a hassle to have to clean up so you can get to the other wood. You just grab it with these things and just pull it right out of your way. It increases your leverage, your pulling power, and decreases the strain on your back. So I highly recommend getting yourself a Pickaroon. I don't recommend the Forester. They're about this far off, but they're just not quite as precise as they need to be. Not that it matters in terms of performance. I noticed that when they sent me this second one, and even though I've used it, you see the finish here, the paint had quite a number of abrasions on it. So the fit and finish was just not what I expect when I'm going to spend $50. You know, if I'm going to Walmart or another one, you know, back in the day it was Kmart, you get a $12 tool and it looks like a $12 tool. Well, when you start spending 50 or 60 or 70 bucks, it's cast. It's not that hard to paint it and make sure that you don't beat it up. So I do recommend a Pickaroon. I just don't recommend the Forester. Hi folks, I thought I would give you just a little bit of a demonstration. I'm in kind of my junk wood here where I've cut wood that was too long or something and just left pieces. Here's the newer of the Pickaroon, and this is the older one. And there's just a piece of hardwood. It bites in immediately. Doesn't want to come out too good. And here's the newer one. It actually went in, and I filed it this morning. But so many times, maybe I've fixed it, but so many times, that simple action, it just would not take. So what you want is a Pickaroon where you can reach and pick up wood with no trouble. This is the Bald Guy, hoping this helps.